Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sport. Today we had the sad news of the passing of former Liverpool manager Gerard Houllier, and I'm joined by Seb True, and we're going to discuss the career of the great man. Seb, Gerard Houllier, obviously he had a glittering managerial career, managing some top clubs, obviously Liverpool, Lyon, PSG, to name a few. What stands out for you about the man and the role and the effect he had on the beautiful game that is football?
Um, I'm still. I mean, we're both a bit too young even to know what Gerard Houllier fully did during his whole career. For instance, when he was at PSG, none of us were even born, or at France, as a manager then, we weren't even born. But he seemed like one of. I mean, I say this from just my own opinion, the nice guy of football. Then also, you can look at what he did at Liverpool and say he put them on the path to the 2005 success that they had in Istanbul. There's a there's not many. He hasn't managed a lot of clubs, but he's at least created the pathway to success. If you look at France, for instance, I mean, you could say it's down to him or not down to him. Where he left in '92, they go on to win the World Cup not too long after. They the same with Liverpool. He puts them on the pathway to go and win the European Cup not too long after. A great manager in his day and also a very calm person. I can't say I know a lot about what he did in football. I know you know a bit more that he was on different committees afterwards, but he brought a lot to Liverpool. Not always the fans' favorite, but I could still say that he was even if you look just as statistically, he was a successful manager for Liverpool, and then one that we shouldn't forget.
Yeah, there's a funny story I was telling you about before coming on about apparently first time he come across Liverpool was he was working at a primary school or it was grammar school then Allsop school it was called. He was a PE teacher and I think he did a bit of language as well. And he got tickets to a Liverpool game once and sat on the cop, and that's when he really first knew fell in love with Liverpool Football Club and thought one day I might get to manage them. He obviously went back to France. He did some managing with the French team. I think it was under 19s and a bit with the first team, managed PSG, and they got the opportunity to co-manage Liverpool under Roy Evans. Unfortunately for Roy, it didn't quite work out. Uh, but Gerard stayed on and got given the opportunity full time, and I think it was the right decision for Liverpool Football Club. I don't understand, with all due respect to Roy, why they put the joint managers just get rid of Roy in the first place. But that's not anything wrong with Gerard Houllier. He came in and he started the overhaul of the club. He changed the dietary requirements of players. He did like Wenger did at Arsenal, where Wenger come into Arsenal and he got rid of the drinking culture and he brought the football club forward into the modern age. And Gerard Houllier, Liverpool behind Manchester United and Arsenal in this sense, both on and off the pitch, because they're also behind commercially as well. And he brought Liverpool Football Club forward. He sorted out. He got rid of the drinking culture. He got rid of the problem players like Razor Ruddock, who liked to drink, and some of the Spice Boys to use the label that the press gave him for the '96 FA Cup final. He got rid of the likes of those players and built together a solid team. He made some great signings, the likes of Honcho, Dudek. He had Westerveld in goal. McAllister was a gem on a free transfer. He had experience, man, and he used McAllister's experience to train the likes of Stevie J, who he brought through from the academy, and he literally handpicked him from the academy. He got picked. He got
He
called to
captained him as well in the end.
and captained him in 2003. Got called to watch a winger in the academy by Stevie Highway, who was in charge at the time, and he said he was watching it for this one player who he didn't name, obviously for purposes. And he saw Stevie J, and straight away he's like, I want to take that lad and put him in the first team and bring him down to Marwood. And he brought him down to Marwood, and Stevie J became a mainstay in the Liverpool team and Liverpool captain, as you said. He made him captain in 2003, and obviously he also was instrumental in bringing the development of Marwood forward, because at the time Marwood wasn't really a state-of-the-art facility in the sense that it was when we left a couple of weeks ago, because Liverpool now have access. He was instrumental in getting the facilities done up to 21st century standard, and he made sure that the equipment was there for the players to train, and he did the training methods as well. Obviously, about the 2000 to 2001 season. Liverpool have had a drought since winning the FA Cup in '92. They hadn't won anything, and Gerard Houllier comes in, wins us the League Cup or Worthington Cup as it was then, against Birmingham on penalties. Gets us off the mark. We go on to win the FA Cup, the Michael Owen final 2001, with those double late goals against Arsenal. The Arsenal, Wenger's Arsenal, the Arsenal team that we talked about a couple of weeks ago in that iconic moments video. And then we had the UEFA Cup final against Alaves. That's one of the most unbelievable cup finals, going 5-4, a golden goal winner, and then to go on to win the Super Cup and Community Shield, which aren't classed as massive trophies, but still to win 5 trophies in as many months is a record that any manager would be proud of. And I don't think his achievements as Liverpool manager are spoken above highly in the football world, and especially by fans of the club. I think at times there's certain fans of certain areas that appreciate what he did, but I think it should be spoken about more. 6 trophies in 6 seasons, and 5 of those in the space of 5 months was unreal what he achieved, and some of the signings he made as well, like I said. And then obviously he went on to Lyon, did a decent job at Lyon. I remember him coming back to Villa, and to be fair, he didn't do a bad job at Villa that season, but sadly his issues he had, obviously in 2001, 2002, he had that heart issue, where he nearly tragically lost his life against Leeds on the touchline and fell unwell in the dressing room at half time, got rushed up to hospital. Tomo took charge of the team for 6 months, Phil Thompson. And obviously those problems come back during the Villa, his time in charge of Aston Villa, where he did quite a good job at Villa, regardless of the health issues. And recently he had been working for the Red Bull Group, that own Leipzig and Salzburg. So he'd been working as, I think it was global football ambassador for them. And I think it's rather fitting that today, sadly when he passed away, we had the Champions League draw and Liverpool are drawn against Leipzig. Isn't it just fitting, 2 clubs that he's had a big impact on, they're drawn together?
We got also not forget, as us being very English, that same year Michael Owen was Ballon d'Or winner in 2001, as you mentioned before. Gerard Houllier also went on to win Manager of the Year, UEFA Manager of the Year, and even Liverpool aside, he went on to win 2 League Ones with Lyon. I mean, you can mention how Lyon were probably a dominant side at that point, but that doesn't change the fact that he still won the league twice with Lyon in the 2 years that he was there. It was a bit of a shame that it was probably not a good idea to come back to Aston Villa. Probably a guy who just wanted to come back to football because he loved it so much. But it did definitely leave a certain opinion on English football fans. We had Houllier as this image as the one who set it out for Rafa Benitez before he came in. And then it ruined his reputation, unfortunately. And it's not, as you said, it's not really down to it's not his fault. He had health problems and you can't expect more of him. I found it as a bit unfortunate that we do see him like that in Britain, especially of my generation who haven't seen it, who didn't see much of him in 2000 or that period.
Yeah, as well, I think regards to him at Liverpool, and I said sometimes certain aspects of the fan base probably don't appreciate him enough. And I think there's a banner on the cup, and it's got legendary managers. It's got Shankly, Paisley, Fagan, Dalglish. There's Rafa on there. Jurgen Klopp's now on there. And there's been a debate amongst fans whether Houllier should be on there. People say, oh yeah, but each manager on there has either won the league title or the European Cup. But what he did was special. He won a domestic treble, and he won the other he won the other 2 trophies to go alongside that. Surely those achievements should go up there, and he should have a place, on the banner on the cup. I think as well. I'm just trying to collect my thoughts here. With regards to you've got iconic images of managers down the years, and with Liverpool, you've got the iconic image of Shankly in his red tracksuit top. You got Paisley in his suit and his tie, thrusting aloft another title after he's taken over, winning the 3 European Cups. Smoking Joe Paisley, not Paisley, sorry, Smoking Joe Fagan, lying on the deck chair in Rome outside the pool in his trackie with the European Cup. Kenny Dalglish winning the league as player manager in his kit. And you've got Jurgen Klopp nowadays, in his tracksuit, his snood. You had Gerard Houllier with his smart suit and red Liverpool scarf. And I think there seems to be a bit of a trend going with managers at the time where they had the scarves. And it's an iconic image. And when someone says to me Gerard Houllier, I think of a bright, bubbly personality, great guy, smiley face. And then I can just see an image of him holding the UEFA Cup up in the air with that red scarf and that beaming smile.
Yeah. And also, I mean, it might be a bit of a negative part of his career, but I wanted to mention it because why not? He could have avoided maybe Abramovich buying Chelsea if they'd just beaten Chelsea on that last day in that 2002-2003 season. They beat Chelsea. Well, they consequentially lose, but if they beat Chelsea, they're in the top four and not fifth, and then Chelsea would be the team that are fifth. And Abramovich wanted a team that's in the Champions League. Chelsea were there, so he bought Chelsea. So that changed a lot of football, and Houllier had that in his hands, but didn't unfortunately avoid that from Abramovich. I just find that an interesting side note on it all. But it's a as we mentioned, look at the positives. He was a great manager.
It's certainly an interesting story, and there was a little story about Istanbul. Obviously, we won the Champions League under Rafa Benitez, and he brought in a couple of players, Alonso and Garcia, that are instrumental in that campaign and his tactical knowledge. But apparently, he was there in Istanbul as a guest of UEFA. I think he was doing some dignitary work for them. And he went down at full time to the dressing room to congratulate the players. And the players wanted him to join the celebrations and hold the European Cup. And they're going, "But Gerard, it's your team." And he said, the humbleness of the man was, "I know it's, some of you players were here for me, but it's yours and Rafa's achievement. You guys enjoy yourself and celebrate. I just wanted to come down and congratulate you." And I think that it's wonderful and shows the personality of the man that
Speaks volumes of the man, yeah.
that he could still go down there and congratulate a team, because there's some people that wouldn't be able to do it. It'd be too hard for them, especially like you're left under a bit of a cloud at Liverpool.
Or they'd be angry.
Yeah, with the board not backing him, and was the trust not there anymore? A lot of people would be maybe angry or bitter, but there was no bitterness from Gerard Houllier ever towards the football club. Any football club he's managed, he's always had great relationships with the people. And I think Jamie Carragher was saying this morning on the TV that he was planning to, when it was safe, come back to Liverpool and visit the club and visit the families and spend some time, at Carragher's house, staying over there with the families to get to visit and see everyone. But sadly, that's not going to happen. And they say the greats are taken from us too soon, and that's certainly the case here with Gerard. So this has been our tribute to Gerard Houllier, former Liverpool manager. Thanks for watching the video. What were your favourite moments from his career? Don't forget to comment and subscribe, and we'll see you all very soon.